The Last of Us PC specs detailed, PS5 Dominates in Japan, a recap of the Capcom, Level5 and Nacon showcases, the Call of Duty acquisition gets heated, all that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get to them. The Last of Us PC specs detailed. Sony has announced the PC specs and features for The Last of Us Part 1. The game will be optimized with PC-centric quality of life enhancements, AMD FSR 2.2, NVIDIA DLSS, and the usually adjustable PC settings such as P-Sync, frame rate, texture quality, shadows, reflections, and more. PS5 settings make it here such as haptic triggers and haptic feedback when using a wired DualSense, but you can also use any other pad or keyboard and mouse. It also supports 4K resolution with ultra-wide 21:9 and super ultra-wide 32:9 aspect ratios and 3D audio. As for specifications, you need a Ryzen 5 1500X or Intel Core i7 4770K, an AMD Radeon 470, NVIDIA GeForce 970 or 1050 Ti with 16 GB of RAM for the minimum 720p 30fps setting. That goes all the way up to AMD Ryzen 9 5900X or Intel Core i5 12600K, an AMD RX 7900 XT or NVIDIA RTX 4080, and 32 GB of RAM for the Ultra 4K 60fps setting. The game also requires 100 GB of SSD space. The Last of Us Part 1 brings the main story and Left Behind DLC on the heels of the HBO show, plus all the content from the PS5 release such as the speedrun, permadeath, and photo modes, and the new accessibility options. It launches on March 28 on Steam and Epic Games. Pre-ordering the game gives you the same bonus supplements and parts, and a digital deluxe edition includes early in-game unlocks, cosmetics, and more. Plus, if you want a physical copy, you can get the Firefly edition through PlayStation Direct in select locations. It comes with a steelbook, a physical copy of the American Dreams comic, the deluxe edition content, and a Steam copy of the game for $100 or equivalent. Will you be jumping to the series for the first time or experiencing it on PC? Sound off in the comments below. PS5 Dominates in Japan. To finish our trio of game sales reports this week, PS5 dominated Japanese sales charts in February, selling 367,000 units. That's more than what they sold in the first 4 months of 2022. Sony's console improved by 457% compared to last year, again a huge increase due to the stock shortages being over. It was also the best console sold over the Nintendo Switch, a crown the Nintendo Hybrid loses for the first time since February 2018. As for games, the top 5 were for Kirby Wii Deluxe, Hogwarts Legacy, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, Splatoon 3, and Octopath Traveler 2, so Nintendo still commands on the software front. The PS5 sales continue to improve across the world, and it means Sony will have no issues reaching their goal of 6.2 million units this quarter to complete the 19 million consoles sold during the current fiscal year. What do you think about the improved PS5 sales? Share with us in the comments. Capcom Spotlight PlayStation Recap. Capcom held their first showcase of the year with news on Resident Evil 4, Exoprimal, and Monster Hunter Rise. Here's the recap on everything PlayStation related. Mega Man Battle Network includes many original patch cards, illustrations, and more to unlock, with both volumes available on April 14 for PS4. Volume 1 contains games 1 to 3 and Volume 2 includes games 4 to 6 for a total of all 10 mainline games. Street Fighter 6 offers a world tour and Battle Hub when it launches this June 2nd for PS4 and PS5. This time they introduced the final color commentator to be Hikaru Takahashi for a total of 8 to bring the esports excitement to your home. A new trailer for Exoprimal was revealed showcasing some of the story beats of the game, and it launches July 14 for PS4 and PS5 with an open beta test running March 17 to 19. It also revealed a Battle Pass. Yes, a Battle Pass. Pre-ordering the game gives you 3 skins for the different classes. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective arrives June 30 for PS4 with updated visuals, new musical arrangements, increased frame rate and optimized interface, and illustrations to unlock. If you pre-order, you get 4 wallpapers and 2 additional music tracks. After launching earlier this year for PS4 and PS5, Monster Hunter Rise is getting the Sunbreak expansion for those platforms this April 28, including new monsters, combat mechanics, and more. Finally, Resident Evil 4 closed the show to announce the Chainsaw demo, previously teased during the State of Play, and even leaked several hours before the show. It's available on all platforms including PS4 and PS5, letting you play the first section of the village with no time limit or restrictions. I have been playing it and it's a ton of fun. You can check out my livestream or one of my speedruns by clicking here. What did you think about this Capcom showcase? Voice your opinion in the comments or vote in the poll on the community tab. Level 5 Vision PlayStation Recap. Capcom wasn't the only showcase this week, as Level 5 also showed a few games coming out later this year. This is the PlayStation related recap. Decapolis is a detective RPG where you investigate different cases by jumping between the real world and a digital recreation, while also fighting in turn-based battles. It comes out this year for PS4 and PS5. Megaton Musashi War is an action RPG where you control a customizable mech or classic Japanese anime ones such as Mazinger Z, and you can team up with friends in co-op or fight other teams across PlayStation, Steam, and Switch. It's out later this year for PS4 and PS5. Lastly, Inazuma 11 Victory Road is a soccer RPG that has you playing as a guy in school as you assemble a soccer team to take back on the winning path and face your rival. You can also play in Chronicle mode against characters and teams from the series' history and recruit them to yours. Inazuma 11 Victory Road comes out this year for PS4. What were your favorite games from the Level 5 showcase? Sound off in the comments. Nacon Connect PlayStation Recap. Nacon also had a showcase this week. These are the PlayStation highlights. Ravenswatch is an isometric 4-player co-op roguelike from the developers of the PS Plus game Curse of the Dead Gods, where you can play as dark fairy tale heroes such as Red Riding Hood, Snow Queen, Aladdin, Beowulf, and more. Launches for PS4 and PS5 in 2024. Spitfire Interactive is bringing Caves to PS4 and PS5 this year. It's a superhero turn-based strategy game where you fight in a dystopian city controlled by supervillains, where having superpowers is a crime. It is very similar to Marvel's Midnight Suns. Ad Infinitum has you controlling a German soldier trapped between two realities. One is an abandoned mansion where you must uncover its secrets, and the other is Eastern France during World War I, where you must face twisted memories of those events. It's out for PS5 this September 2023. New sports titles from the company include TT Isle of Man Ride on Edge 3 for PS4 and PS5 this May 11, Tour de France 2023 for PS4 and PS5 on June 8, Tiebreak from the Tennis World Tour developers out this year for PS4 and PS5, and Rugby 24 for both platforms this September 7. War Hospital puts you in control of a medical camp in a war zone where you have to make sure that injured soldiers are tended to, prioritizing who needs the most help and managing resources. This simulator launches this August 31st for PS5. Gangs of Sherwood brings a twist on the legend of Robin Hood where you can team up with up to 3 friends to fight as the band of merry men, each with different skills, in a futuristic dystopia. It comes out for PS5 this fall. They showed a new trailer for Lord of the Rings Gollum, showcasing the story beats of the game, locations, and classic characters from Tolkien's epic story that will be making an appearance. It will launch at some point this year for PS4 and PS5. Finally, RoboCop Rogue City showed a brief gameplay overview trailer where you have to restore order in the streets of Detroit. Original voice actor Peter Weller reprises his role as the Cyber Cop. It launches this September for PS5. What were your favorite games from the showcase? Let us know in the comments. The Call of Duty acquisition gets heated. Both Microsoft and Sony sent replies to the UK CMA this week for the organization to further deliberate on the merger. Microsoft has reiterated its position on giving Sony a 10-year deal with parity on release date, content, features, upgrades, quality, and playability with the Xbox platform, including confirmation that Sony can put any Call of Duty game on PS Plus at the same time and for the same duration as Game Pass. Sony in response has said that Microsoft could drive up the licensing cost of the series, commercially destroying SIE's subscription service, where they would need to raise prices or not offer Call of Duty at all. Furthermore, Sony made claims that Microsoft may purposely sabotage future Call of Duty releases on PlayStation consoles by launching a buggy version of the game, for example. Microsoft again replied to Sony, reiterating their commitment to parity. That's not all, because Activision's executive Lulu Cheng has accused Jim Ryan of saying during their meeting in Brussels last month that Sony doesn't want another Call of Duty deal, they just want to block the merger. Seeing Sony's stubbornness, I do believe her, just not sure why she didn't mention anything about it until now. Sony is playing with fire, and while some of their claims are laughable, others have some base. For example, Psychonauts 2 from Level5 was released on PS4, Xbox One, and Series S, but not PS5. But it's a game that sells a lot less than Call of Duty, so Microsoft doesn't have the incentive to do this. The CMA has been reported to not be afraid to make a different decision, such as blocking the deal, while rumors on their European counterpart suggest they will approve. Do you think Sony should stop being stubborn and accept Microsoft's offer? Or take this till the final stages with a result that will likely affect the company more? Voice your opinion in the comments. Now let's go for a round of quickfire gaming news. A new PlayStation patent filed a few years ago but released this week indicates Sony wants to help your posture while gaming. The patent says a game intervention server may evaluate based on learning models, posture, and physical motion for players for repetitive, unbalanced, or excessive motions, as well as gameplay quality patterns, and compare to thresholds for identifying unhealthy conditions. As with every patent, it doesn't mean it will become a real thing, but maybe this has some use for VR. Developer Skylines has announced that PSVR players who own The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Tourist Edition will be eligible for a free upgrade of the game for PSVR 2, while anyone with the Standard Edition, including those who got it from PS Plus in November 2021, will be required to pay $10. They also showed the upgraded options for the game, including enhanced environments, animations, and gameplay, so it seems a worthy upgrade when it launches on March 21st. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier has indicated that WB Games and Rocksteady Studios might be getting ready to delay Suicide Squad until later this year, after the poorly received demo during the latest PlayStation State of Play. The journalist does note that it's a short delay, likely for optimization purposes rather than improving or changing anything significant in relation to what fans didn't like about it. However, new rumors from insider Jeff Grubb say it could be indefinitely delayed into 2024. TT Games may have cancelled several LEGO games as per Nintendo Life, including LEGO Guardians of the Galaxy, a LEGO Disney game, a LEGO game with several WB properties such as DC Universe and Rick and Morty, and even the in-progress Mandalorian DLC for LEGO Star Wars might be about to get cancelled as well. It seems the studio has been biting more than it could chew, apart from employing allegations of crunch and mismanagement. Square Enix has revealed their financial results for the past 3 quarters of their current fiscal year ending March 31st, while focusing more on October to December 2022 releases. Surprising no one, President Yosuke Matsuda revealed that Forspoken didn't meet sale expectations, but that despite the challenging reviews, some of its elements have gotten some praise, such as parkour and combat. Many of Square Enix's mid-tier titles didn't perform well either, and while they didn't name any, it presumably includes the Diofield Chronicle, Valkyrie Elysium, Star Ocean The Divine Force, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, and Tactics Ogre Reborn. The Other Worlds Spacer Choice Edition launched this week for PS5 and has some serious performance issues despite the improved characters, textures, and lighting. It's so broken that people are asking for refunds. According to Pushquare, the frame rate in performance mode takes dives from 60 to 50 and even 30 FPS, affecting gameplay like not registering button presses. An Obsidian spokesperson has apologized for the issue, and Private Division is working on a patch to release as soon as possible. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Share them in the comments below, let me know your feedback by liking or disliking this video, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, and consider subscribing for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hyped!